All right, welcome back to Cord Cutting today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting and give you my thoughts on them, including the end of Cartoon Network as we know it. I think some interesting things are happening there. We're going to break down what's happening and why Cartoon Network, that you probably know as of it today, is probably not going to be here for much longer. Comcast, YouTube TV, and other streaming services are going to get free access to its new ESPN Unlimited service. If you're a subscriber to a live TV service, we got some good news for you about how you're going to get free access to the new ESPN service and why that's important. And HBO Max will start being very aggressive next month about cracking down on password sharing. I have some issues with some of this and how they're doing it. I'll tell you in a minute. But first, if you want to read any of these stories and come up with your own opinions about them, check out the show notes and in the first pinned comment. I'll put a link to each story there. Read them for yourself, come up with your own opinion, and let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to some more people, helping us grow and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of TV. All right. We're a little over a week away from Comcast dumping Cartoon Network from its key packages. DirecTV's not included them in its new entertainment package, though Adult Swim is. And we've seen big layoffs in Cartoon Network recently. Now Cartoon Network employees have been coming out and saying they are concerned about the future of the network. With viewership aging, increasingly originally targeting tweens, we'll call it, late elementary school to early teenagers kind of range. Increasingly, that's now an 18 plus demographic that are watching it for classic reruns of their favorite shows. Adult Swim keeps seemingly expanding and getting bigger and bigger. And there's a lot of speculation that we'll see that continue. So what does this mean for Cartoon Network now that's leaving the second largest provider of TV from core packages? How many people are really going to pay to get it as an add-on to their main network? That's a big question. I know I have children, never watch it. They would much rather be on YouTube, Disney Plus, Hulu, and other streaming services to get their content. The idea of, even though we have access to Cartoon Network, clicking it and watching a cable network is about as foreign to my almost 13-year-old daughter as is possible with that. But we'll have to keep an eye on this. Look for Cartoon Network to be in big trouble. I probably should do a breakdown of some of the cable networks I think are in most trouble, but there's growing smoke and conversations and rumors that Cartoon Network may not be long, at least not in the format it is. What would they do to it? I would not be surprised if Adult Swim becomes a 24/7 network and they just do away with Cartoon Network. Maybe merge some of its content over to Boomerang and keep Boomerang, or just force it all into Max and get people to subscribe to the Max streaming service. But they have to do something. I would be shocked to see it financially viable, especially as Warner Brothers Discovery is preparing to dump Cartoon Network and all of its cable companies into an independent company next year. How long until they just say it's not financially responsible to keep this network? Keep an eye on it. But that's my prediction. I suspect we'll see Adult Swim become a 24/7 network before you know it. All right, have you been reading about new ESPN? Oop, I was recording another video before this. Apologize. Have you been seeing ESPN talk about how they are launching a new ESPN Unlimited service where you get a ton of ESPN channels, original content, exclusive, and more? And you're saying, well, do I have to pay for it? I'm a Fubo, YouTube TV, DirecTV customer, Comcast, Spectrum. Good news, they have confirmed that Comcast, YouTube TV, Spectrum, DirecTV, I think Fubo, is also on that list. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Link in the show notes to find the full list. Will be able to give you free access. I've been getting a lot of questions about this. You'll just use your YouTube TV login, for example, and log into the ESPN app using that and unlock access to ESPN Unlimited, just like you did to get access to the ESPN app in the past. Good news there is you now get a new access to original content, including the AI-generated Sports Center. We can say I'm a fan of this sport or this team, and it'll create Sports Center highlights with AI technology for you with it. But good news there, if you're YouTube TV and all kinds of other services, Hulu, of course, not a big surprise there. Hulu plus Live TV, I should say, with that. All right, HBO Max has announced that they're going to be more aggressively cracking down on password sharing next month. Coming in September, if you share your password from HBO Max, formerly known as Max, formerly known as HBO Max, formerly known as HBO Now, etc. Warner Brothers, let's hope this is the final name change. You're going to have to be justifying your location. I have one big annoyance about this. My son is a huge Mickey Mouse Clubhouse fan, and we have a tablet in the car. It's very annoying every time we're on the road and doing a long road trip to have to say, yes, I'm just traveling. We did a family vacation. My parents, my brother, his family, we all went up north in Michigan as a family, and we put that on for him, and I felt like every few days I was saying, yes, I really am traveling. So I hope they're not quite as annoying as Disney Plus is. There has to be a way to say, hey, Disney, I am traveling this entire week to Traverse City, Michigan. Please stop bugging me. But we'll see how this plays out. But HBO Max is going to crack down on password sharing. I just hope that they do it in not quite as annoying of a way with it. Now with this, you'll see a lot of the standard things. Are you traveling away? Sending you an email code to verify login and other things with it. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Do you share your passwords? Have you been forced to go buy your own? Let me comment. All right. Paramount is getting new leadership, or has. Yesterday, Paramount finalized its merger with Skydance. Now with this, we've talked recently about like Tom Ryan, the founder of Pluto TV, who ran streaming for Paramount, leaving. Other executives at Paramount have left, and new leadership from the Skydance merger are taking over. Don't expect anything dramatic right away. I suspect, though, within the first few months, we're going to start seeing some changes, but by the end of the year, you'll start seeing some pretty big changes from the new leadership. Often new leadership comes in, they want to kind of, hey, I'm the new guy, tell me about yourself, let me learn a little more about your division before they start making big changes. But I suspect cable networks, you're on the chopping block. I think I'll do a special video on that soon. But Paramount getting new leadership, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Let me know what you think. Well, if you were Paramount's leadership, what changes would you make? I would cut a good chunk of their smaller cable networks right off the bat. Just come in with an axe and just start hacking at some of those. I think in the short term that'll be painful. In the long term, that'll set Paramount up for a much more profitable future than keeping them. All right, Google is boosting the amount of money it's spending in 2025. Spending $10 billion more. They'll spend over $85 billion to meet the soaring cloud demand and AI demand. As AI and other things grow, there's growing demand for AI and cloud technology, and Google will spend $10 billion more to try to meet it in 2025. Does it surprise you that they're spending $85 billion, not just on that, but on everything? That's how much goes out the door every year at Google right now. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of money. But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Google is in a heated race for both cloud dominance and AI dominance. And there's no clear winner on either one. For a long time, you thought Amazon was so far ahead. Some of their competitors have been cutting into Amazon's lead in cloud with that. All right, if you've been thinking about getting T-Mobile home internet, their new T-Mobile all-in 5G home internet plan now comes with free Hulu and free Paramount Plus. Not a bad way to get some free streaming. Increasingly, streaming is becoming a commodity where you can say, hey, I get free Netflix from T-Mobile on my phone. I get Paramount Plus from Walmart. The list goes on and on. Increasingly, streaming is almost like an add-on benefit to try to encourage people to subscribe. You may want to consider that when you're getting services. I still am on my Disney Plus bundle. It's a grandfather plan. They no longer offer this. But Verizon, with my wireless plan, is giving me free Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus with it. We'll keep an eye on this, but what streaming services do you get free bundled in? One I consider is I got Amazon Prime, but I don't consider it for Amazon Prime Video. I consider that kind of an added benefit, an added bundle in that with it, that I don't really consider a part of the core plan of what I'm spending every month. Leave me a comment, let me know what you bundle, what kind of services you get. I'd love to hear from you. And lastly, an interesting little story. Disney will stop sharing subscriber numbers following Netflix's lead on this, as they'll no longer tell you how many subscribers Disney Plus, Hulu, and others have. few interesting things here. Hulu Plus Live TV, I think, is one of the most interesting here. They've been losing hundreds of thousands of subscribers, just lost 100,000 in the last reported quarter. But what I think a little bit of what's happening here in Disney's experiences, at some point you reach saturation, right? There's only so many people in the world. For a while, Netflix was more, and we're adding countries, we're expanding. At some point you say, well, we expanded everywhere, until we get some people on the moon, I guess then we can expand to the moon or Mars someday. But for now, they're going to shift and focus on things like hours watched, engagement, and more. Especially as they increasingly rely on ads for revenue, it's an important part of what they do. It makes sense. But I do think it's an interesting moment of saturation. Cord cutting has gone from a growing boom to kind of maturity a little bit, though I think there's a lot of growth still to come. But increasingly, it's a mature market where you're not going to be adding 1 million subscribers or 4 million subscribers every quarter like sometimes has happened in the past. Instead, you're going to be fighting to keep your subscribers and make sure that they're watching your content rather than all this competition out there. We'll keep an eye on it. I suspect more streaming services will follow Disney and Netflix and stop reporting subscriber numbers in the near future. Let me know what you think about that. Hey everybody, happy Friday. I got some videos all weekend. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. Until then, take care, be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.